What's up, guys? This is your boy Woody. We got something really special today. We have Flex Nuts, sorry, brother, and Matty D here, and we are going to explain the disadvantage of this right here. This plane right here, the disadvantage of how it's going to, I think personally, it might actually kill the game, at least for a quarter of the players, which is going to hurt, which is really going to hurt. What do you guys think after we watch this video? Which, you know what, let's just get into it. Go ahead and let's start this video. Flex Nuts is melee, so he's all front attack. Okay, so and he has been kind enough to show us his testing of what this plane is going to do, and it's going to initially hurt. So go ahead, Flex Nuts. I'm going to actually blow up the screen so everyone sees it. Okay, so all eyes on you right now.
All right, perfect. Hey, everybody. Flex Nuts here out of 146 Triple O, the Melee guy. All right, so I'm here with Woody. He is kind enough to bring me on this podcast. This is going to be my exit video, and here's why. And I want to, first of all, thank everyone who has supported me in the past, who has really followed my videos, and I want you to really think about your future moving forward. If Camel doesn't make a change here, any melee user moving forward is going to be forced to fight a battle that will never be able to be won. Not in the long run. You might be able to get a couple blows here and there and win, but the game has changed for us because this, in 4 years, is the first time ever an immunity has been brought to a stat type. For example, mid range, long range, melee. No one has ever had immunity before. Resistance types, sure. Immunity, never. And I'm going to show you why this is absolutely a bad thing Camel did. And it ruins everyone who's ever built Melee before. So let's go ahead and jump into why real quick before we go any further. Let me pull this up. Where's that little setup here?
Show what
Okay.
you got.
So here's all right. Here's what I'm talking about. If I can click it, high altitude. Well, it doesn't want to stay up.
No, it doesn't. I've noticed that.
Yeah, the dodge melee attack, 100%. You just gotta bear with me. Dodge mid range attack, long range attack, 20%. So dodge melee attack, 100%. That's the critical factor. If you look at that blue high altitude flight under there, all right. I'm gonna show you why this is bad, so bad. I'm gonna pull up my favorites because this right here, of all the favorites I've ever had, I just got beat by a farm. 142k fleet.
You want to show the actual farm?
Yeah, here we go. You seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here's the stats on the farm that beat me.
Damn.
A
Damn.
level 3 spaceship with 142,000 fleet size. Now, granted, I did a little bit of manipulation. I dropped some of my officers. As you can see here, my stats are quite low, but I did this on purpose to prove a point. Point being that you can't have an immunity-based concept in this game. So, what I'm doing here, and I'm so sorry, dogs. Bear with me, Barry. I apologize. Now, we're going to watch the video, and
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and put this on times 4. So, if anyone would like, I don't know if I can't fast forward this any faster, bud.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, yeah. So miss, 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 miss. This goes on and on
Oh my
and
god.
on. So you see here,
It's
I
completely
walked in with
missing.
30k, or was it 40k? I don't remember how many I walked in with. And this is my life now. You know, if I yes, I could have equipped my officers to try and do damage to this. I could have brought in Titans to try to do damage to this, but the point being, this is an immunity-based concept that has never been implemented. Why the hell my shredders can't hit this piece of shit? It is beyond me. I mean, look,
Wow. And it's good
this
and it's so distracted by that plane that it's not even touching the
yeah,
freaking Titan.
yeah.
Dude, this is not good.
No, and then here's the other concept. Yeah, I could get reinforced, sure. Yeah, I can. There's 4 or 5 other fleets, but the problem is it shouldn't have to come to this. Why is melee? Melee's already, that struggle is real. Guys, I gotta jump through hoops just to keep up with the Joneses. And I'm already
Facts.
handicapped. I don't need to be zip tied and blindfolded here. And this right here, Jesus Christ.
So let me ask you, for say if you sent your fleet out
Hmm.
to envoy, let's say you sent your fleet out with your main guy at a city, and someone's seen it and they decided to fucking, oops, there's my demonetization, but they decide to
Oh,
hit
sorry for
you.
the sound language.
They
Go ahead.
decide to hit you while you're sending out and keep you busy knowing that you're melee, like for instance, you're about to die, they speed an R1 in just to keep the battle going for however long it takes to kill every single troop that you have, because your Titans and your plane is at a different city. It's attacking, so they're stuck there.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it?
no,
It could possibly continuously kill every troop you have.
without a
Well,
doubt.
they would
Oh,
lose a lot of troops in the process because they'd lose their SOS.
oh
So
yeah,
you'd have to
but
be a really bold player to do that because you do have to send a certain amount to send that plane. But
that,
it's definitely possible.
jeez. And you know what? I could see someone. I can see someone knowing it, it's melee, knowing that this would happen. I can see them doing it, planning it out. I mean, a lot of these nations are all about planning, and
Yeah.
this would be like that bird account that guy hit months back, where it was indestructible. You couldn't touch it. You know what I mean, man?
So
Well,
just
go
out of
ahead.
curiosity, what happens if you were to get or if the other player would reinforce or if a second player hits, would it stay on that plane or would it shift to another different row of units?
No,
Do
that's
you?
a great question. I haven't tested that, but I just wanted to do the bare essential testing that
Yeah.
but that is a great question. I can't actually answer.
Well, I mean, if he, let's say you got reinforcement, right? Because
Yeah.
they're hitting you. I can imagine that they would uh, definitely be able to bring in other troops to help fight. But the fact of the matter is sometimes people are so caught up attacking a different city, so they won't reinforce your main city. They're going to reinforce the city that you're trying to attack. And,
Right. Well, and we're talking Void War and Frenzy. But you got to realize that that's just 2 days out of the month,
yeah,
right? We got Triangle War, we have Dual Dominance, we have Elite War. That
wow, we're
greatly
going.
outweighs the 2 days of the month that y'all are talking about. And I can't set my defense fleet anymore without knowing that. Well, this may be a loss right out the gates, whereas before I could defend 15, 20 cities,
Yeah,
and I was a fulcrum. Now I'm just like a long video.
yeah, you're already nearly 19 minutes in.
Yeah, oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Wh-
This is a grind
What's your
here.
normal average fight length? Like a minute and a half?
I'm sorry, do I know?
What's your normal average fight length? Like a
Like
minute
if I
and a
was to
half?
throw hands in the mines, yeah, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. That's about my average. It depends on who I'm fighting and what I'm fighting, but um, yeah, it kind of usually comes down to my shredders, my zombies. Titans die pretty quick compared to the other, to the enemy. It depends on what I have in my back line. A lot of times I just click the default fleet and send it because at this point in the game I just I don't care. I just try to hurry up. But if
Right.
I try to stack the fleet, yeah, I'll put some shielders back there and things like that. But yeah, 2 minutes it would be more of a top end average
well,
per fight. But we're on
well,
20 minutes right now.
let's say it's a huge fucking fighter. There goes my monetization again. But let's say a huge fighter, another C-38 with like for instance, like Lead God or Ram or Bird at that matter, they hit you. You know,
Mhm.
without your Titans, I hate to say it, you might not win it.
No, I won't win against that
You
at
know,
all. I mean,
and so
what I can do against them is hold them down and cry for help.
until your Titans get back. But I mean, like I
Right.
was saying, if someone keeps your Titans busy, I mean, you're that's 40 minutes just watching however much I can imagine hundreds of thousands of dollars just go down the drain like it was nothing.
Yeah, man.
I mean, if this wasn't a game that actually costed real money, and it just costed like fake money, I can understand like, oh wow, yeah, that sucks. But this is real money. This isn't monopoly money. This is real money.
Well,
So
yeah, and it's more exponential than that. I mean, we've got 4 years of relationships with multiple nations, friends built up, and everything. Money transitions. I experiment with everything I do. I have always delivered my content experimental based, so others don't have to. Just little
right,
things. Being a melee guy, sitting in the Capitol and doing auto kill, things like that. I try to implement, and they have completely weeded me out. I'm banned from Facebook. I'm banned from I'm banned from the game. Now I can't even throw hands with the
yeah.
level 3 ship right here in front of me, as you can see. So I, in 4 years, have the first time have been narrowed out completely. Yes, I could change my brand. I could switch my officer skills, but that
You,
ain't
you
me.
you shouldn't have to. I mean, let's
Exactly.
be honest. You spent how much money to be a melee guy, and to do that, you would have to spend at least a quarter of what you've already spent just to switch it. And at that matter, I mean, it could take months, almost a year, to get everything back.
Well, you
Man,
gotta understand every single unworldly skill I have. It's S level to triple S level and above, and it's all melee based.
yeah,
So if I respec, I can get fragments. Yeah, I could go get my officer skills transitioned into. I don't even know what I would do mid range. Long. I don't even know
I'm
anymore.
gonna
But at
be,
this
dude,
point,
I'm gonna be 100%. I personally think the game was meant for long range. Period. And
sure.
the mid range player, they figured out a loophole and they jumped through it. They made it happen. And
Hmm.
and good for them. It's seriously, they figured out a loophole and they made it happen. But I think Camel messed up, and they realized, and years ago, so they had to come up with something to counter it. And I think right now they're trying to. Either this is a bug, which I don't think it is because they wouldn't put their stats like that, or they're trying to fix a mess up and still make money off their mess up with these upgrades.
Honestly, it's hard to say, but I don't see this being a strategic move. Why would you, for the first time in 4 years, implement an immunity? And then why would you cut out a melee type for that? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. To me, in my personal opinion, they're narrowing down the spectrum to tunnel people into two groups so they can control the marketing. You have long range or mid range. There is no ifs, ands, or buts moving forward. They can really handle two groups and market the hell out of it.
yeah.
So,
And,
in
and,
my opinion,
and
yeah, go ahead.
why is that Titan still got a bubble on it?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
dude, it's going on almost 40 minutes, and the Titan's still bubbled. Like,
There's so many questions. Well,
there's
I think that
so many
for
questions.
the Titan doing damage, it has that one ability to where it can generate a bubble, and I can't remember the name of it. And I'm not able to break the bubble, but if well, I got to pull up the talent tree. I can't. Don't quote me on it,
Jeez.
but yes, if she does enough
It's blood
damage,
feast.
yeah, there you go. And
Yep.
without breaking it, there's gonna be a bubble the whole time.
Man, I'm
Um,
watching. I'm watching that bar go from one end, nearly gone, to
yeah,
going back.
39 minutes later.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
so first thing they need to, I mean, obviously the immunity is a huge problem, but they need to start that ship on the right side
Wow.
instead of in
yeah.
the middle.
Now, please tell me that was one of your farms intentionally doing that, because
Yeah, well, no, it was something it's
you
one of my,
arranged.
uh, yeah, I arranged it. This was completely set up. I did unequip my combat officers that had passive abilities. Yes, I could have killed that shit within a second. I get it, but that wasn't the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is that's bullshit right there.
Yeah.
If I didn't have breakthroughs, if I didn't have this, why am I fighting an immunity-based concept when this has never been implemented before?
Yeah.
I'm all yeah. That's not cool. You should
No,
make the playing field fair. Because at one point I thought this was going to be like rock paper scissors. One would beat the other in some aspect of the other, another. But first time ever they've implemented immunity. This is
and
a game changer.
yeah, it's a huge. That's like implementing a bubble breaker. Why not just
Mhm.
make a bubble breaker? You've already done something like this. I mean, it's just I don't know. This might have killed the game for a lot of melee people because I mean, dude, you're not the only melee out there. Um,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot that follow you, and that even in 373 we got melee players. So this means we're gonna lose at least 5 people in our
Well, you
nation.
got Boss too. He's probably actually he could give me a run for my money if not beat the hell out of me. And he's dropped a lot of money, and that's
Oh,
Boss's best friend. Boss won out. What I can't remember what nation that is. You know off the top of your head?
581.
581. Oh, we
Yeah,
know. We all know.
yeah. So
Yeah,
Boss two,
I sent Boss 2 a message just to see how he feels. I hadn't heard back.
well, he was my Padawan, right? I was coaching him when he was like 300 HP and 300 melee attack, and then I don't know, like I don't know, just spinach was eating like Popeye. Some bitch is way up there now,
He
and
is. He really is.
he he's hit a point of no return like I have. I can't change my stats. I'm done. I mean, this is what you get. I just
This is a
melee,
game
melee,
changer.
melee. I
So
mean, everything I have is melee. That's
Man,
it.
do you think it would be fair if Camel refunded some frags or something to the melee players that they're clearly trying to get rid of?
What would be fair for Camel? I don't know.
Well, I'm just
Camel,
asking.
yeah,
that's
I.
that's like asking Camel after your bubble dropped, being zeroed out, to give you everything back.
They will.
I, I,
One time.
I think it would be if they did that a blatant, I guess, confirmation that they are indeed tunneling people in like sheep into two groups. And I feel like the beauty of the game recently was to develop away from LRA. Whoever I don't know who came up with MRA as a main. Good for them. I wish I knew who was that first developed it, but I can say I came up with the melee aspect first, and I don't know why that's being targeted so severely as not an option as a build type. But MRA, LRA, this all been targeted at some point, and for it to be quote unquote a logic of the game, hell with that shit. The game is the game because we make it the game. It's what we
Absolutely.
spend towards. So I don't know where that ever got off hook. The problem is 99% of the population does one thing, and that's the thing. So it comes down to who spends the most wearing the same sweatpants. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I'd say 99% of the players are long range, about
Mhm.
1% are mid range, and then like 0.00001% are melee.
Yeah, there's only a handful of us, and you really got to drop a lot of money to be uh, a contender as a melee. And I took joy in that because I like doing shit that's against the grain. Just because I don't know, it's a
Well,
the monetary thing.
let
um,
me let me ask
F you to
you
turn them on.
let me
Yeah,
ask you a question.
what's up?
Okay, let's say you send your troops out, right? And
Sure.
you're being hit. Does your officers come into play at home if you don't have Kingsley or Bravestar loaded? Or because you're not attacking, you're trying to defend. So would you
Yes,
even have any officers to defend you?
That's a
yes,
great question. I would assume they would, but at the same time, that's something I haven't tested and confirmed. And if that's the case, then yes, that spaceship will still be sitting idle if it's not accurate. But I don't know.
yes. So your caddy, your Tifa, um, those two will take effect.
Yeah, but
Uh,
those are attacking. And if you send that fleet out with those officers already, I mean, you only got one officer. Are they still going to be? They can't be in
yeah,
two
it,
places
it
at
applies to
once,
all
can?
fleet. It applies to all fleets.
All right, that's something I've never tested because it's either as soon as you attack, you bubble. So I mean, that's just usually how it is. You don't allow another attack to happen. Um,
I feel like there's one more.
Well, the shitty part is right when this kicked off, I don't know if you're still watching my stream. I already upgraded the hell out of this thing.
yeah, Yeah, you definitely dropped a pretty penny on it.
Yeah, and then I realized, without even paying attention, because I was doing it while I was driving, and I looked, and that little guy right there, dodge melee attack. I saw that after the fact. I'm like, you're going to be shit. I had already upgraded this all the way up, but
Man.
I stopped spinning at that point. Then I did realize, without much effort, that these are additional fleets. You don't need them.
Oh,
Yeah, for those who are going to be playing, this right here, this is your big boy. This is your main squeeze.
Yeah, you're not sending more than one fleet. Well, I can't say there are some monsters that will send 5 fleets out at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
the
this right
only
here
time
is
those
just
other
for the
ones.
monsters. That's it.
Well, for global conquest is really the only time it's truly going to come into play.
Facts.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Or Chaos Land, at that matter.
Yeah,
When I say
Chaos
monsters, not actual monsters, like we're talking like big wig spenders.
Yeah, like Boss and Great
Well,
One and Ram.
they're going to max it out just because it's there. I mean, that's all it is.
Exactly, and I think that's why it's there. Period. So Camel can allow these guys to do something with their hands. Do
Hey man,
something.
dude, I thought the exact same thing. Like when I see this, okay, you think about like this. Okay, you got all these monsters and they're pretty much all leveled out to where it's a who's gonna beat who kind of deal. It comes down to, well, I put one extra shredder in there kind of deal. So I mean they had to balance it out somehow. So I'm assuming that this was meant for them, knowing that they're going to go balls to the wall on it and spend, I don't know what. I'm assuming once everything's maxed, you're looking at another $250,000. Just once it's maxed. I mean, look at those officers. Those are badass officers, man. Those ain't.
Well,
Those are.
this is me. I'm heading out the door, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving my account up. It is what it is. I can't fight something I can't hit, and I'm not gonna rely on the passive breakthrough abilities of these officers. That's just so stupid. I won't do it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm throwing in it. I'm throwing in the towel. This is my farewell exit video. I'm giving the credits to Woody. Let him take it home, and
Oh, thank you. Oh,
yeah, no.
Matty D's here too. So Matty, I
Oh
hope you're
yeah,
doing.
my yeah.
I hope
So
you're doing a little bit of recording, and so you can show some of the people on your video as well. Um, because this is stupid. This is, and I messaged Caddy about it earlier today. I was like, your new update just killed your game. I straight up told you just killed your game. Look at that Pac-Man looking thing.
yeah, that's bad. But I could liquidate these officers, but yeah, I've always been that auto kill type guy. So even
Right.
if I switch these two out, I think I'd get a higher boost here. I could liquidate. I could be a lot more, but I have a system, and the system's always worked based on the testing I've done, and it's what I've always wanted to do. Now I'm put in a position where I don't know what to do with my hands anymore. It's like
So
can't
Flex,
push it.
what were you before you were melee?
Back in the day, I was LRA, LRA attack, LRA HP. I mean, we're talking old school shit.
Yeah.
Um,
So did melee make the game more fun for you?
Hell yeah, it did. Because
Yeah.
everyone was like, "What the shit was that?" That just hit me. You know?
Yeah, and that's what's important. I mean, if that's what's fun for a player, you shouldn't pigeonhole them.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, when I messaged AOZ Summer, they responded with, "Well, you got to go with the logic of the game, meaning you need melee,
Yeah, but
HP, and then." I'm like, "What do you mean logic of the game? Who the hell made logic of the game?" I'm
there was
me out
no
of LRA players.
there was no book. There was no cheat
What?
code. There was nothing to explain the game.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And then how was I ever supposed to predict that there was going to be spaceships and badass futuristic airplanes coming into a post-apocalyptic zombie game? Where was I supposed to figure out I should have diversified from? I mean, at what point should I have known that I was an idiot? I mean, come on. Y'all come out with some stupid shit. There's an island way over there.
It's facts.
Christ
Facts.
almighty.
You got freaking domino effects. You got freaking
Yeah.
Monopoly. You got Go Fish. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, that's
actually, minimize, sorry.
that's okay. I'm gonna close this.
Yeah, go ahead. Take over the screen there. My bad.
Let me share my screen. Hold on.
There you
screens,
go.
and where is it? I want screen 1, live, and then we will pull up the A to Z 1,
Yeah.
and we will go into mine. Well, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Right here. No, it's not. Well then, that sucks. Woody Live. You guys watching this? this, this is definitely getting edited out.
Yeah, no kidding. And
Holy cow.
we were planning on in the other podcast. We were planning on mentioning the immunity goofiness, but we won't go into detail on it.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
it's,
no.
You just did.
I mean,
I,
yeah,
I, I
that's.
I did the testing of the gates. I did give it the 1-2 college try, and I called it like a crystal ball. I really saw it coming a mile away. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take off the pants and the shirt. We're gonna see if this actually is what I thought it would be. And sure as hell, 40 minutes later.
Yeah, dude, I can just imagine. I'd be mad. Like, that would be it for me. Like, knowing that at any point in chance you can't defend, um,
Yeah.
and knowing that once your Titans are out of there, all it will take is one C-38 and every single. Like I was saying, they can keep you busy. You know, they can keep you busy on reinforcing one. As soon as it gets low, reinforce another. They can keep you busy, and they can just eliminate yours.
I still don't understand why they would really focus on that melee immunity. I mean, what other than tunneling in mid range and long range. I mean, they are. That's all it is herding sheep into two categories. Why else would you? I mean, it's the first immunity ever. I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm like, what's the point?
I don't know, dude. Like, it's
Like,
stupid.
I'm not doing that much damn damage. I'm really not.
It's stupid. I mean, like, who was this meant for? Well, I'll answer that. This was meant for those C-38s waiting to go C-40 that are
Mm.
fighting other C-38s, and they just like they can't win, or it's a toss up of who's going to win with one extra troop. Is what it comes down to. I mean, this isn't going to benefit me going up against someone bigger than me that has the exact same thing. It ain't going to benefit me. It's just money coming out of my pocket.
I agree, and I just when I reached out to the devs, they were saying, well, that wasn't ever the case. You should never have gone full melee. And then I'm like, well, that doesn't, And then they said that you'll never be able to beat this and that. Although I am beating this and that, why would you nerf me even more?
Yeah.
You're not making your point. I don't understand
Were,
what the hell
were
you're
you a
saying.
vet before you were the melee guy?
Yeah, it was going to be close to time frame. I think I was right there in that area.
I
I
was
think
just
my
curious.
brand became melee guy. But
You,
I want to
you
say it was about a year or two ago. Don't quote me on it. Something like
you
that.
you would have thought they would have told you, hey, maybe this isn't such a great idea.
Well, no one said that there was a method to the madness. I was just looking at it. I'm like, okay, well, there's stats for everything. Let me start manipulating some shit because there is stats for there. I mean, testing and this and that, and then there's no turning around once you hit a certain point. You're
Yeah,
too
no,
involved. You're in
I'm
depth.
definitely at that point. I want to switch to mid range, but I cannot because
You
I
know
mean
what?
I'm triple S on all my skills.
It's like starting over.
And then you can't reset your unworldlies. I'm in. This is it.
Yeah,
What you see is what you get here. And then I'm just
Well,
gonna.
yeah, no, I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
here's another question I have. Okay, so what about the hybrid accounts, which are half long range or half mid range, or and the other half is melee?
Okay,
Isn't that
look,
that's going to affect them now a lot?
they're already affected because they're trash. Okay, don't ever do that. If
Well,
anybody ever tells you to do that, don't do it.
Ram was doing it.
He was probably
ul-
playing around.
ultimately, it comes. Well, Ram. It's because he's hybrid in a way because he ran out of shit to upgrade and he was maxed out
Facts.
in different areas. Yeah. So
That is
you're
facts.
looking at a hybrid. His hybrid is higher than my shit. You know.
His hybrid is because he had no other choice.
Yeah, he's like, what else I do? Yeah, out of but the hybrid thing is, uh, I just feel like there's pros and cons with every event, and I think they'll for Dominus, Triangle War. That's where I as a melee guy, he shined. I thought that was my baby, right? And every once in a while I'd come in and do my few, I would say 3 to 4 hours of breakthroughs and abilities for Void War. I could kick off my Alexandria, my SOS. I could take advantage of it and play smart.
Right.
I was strategizing everything I did as a melee guy, and now I'm like, shit, that there is no option. I have to conform or get the fuck out. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for the person, but yeah.
As you look at the like everything on here, I mean, they're like literally everything's for long range.
Yeah, and then they tell me that there was never a point to it, but yet when the Titan equipment came out, it was so stacked for melee. I was like, heck yeah, this
Yeah.
is my day.
Yeah.
I really took it and ran with it. I was really excited for the first time in a long time because before that I was still the melee guy and I didn't have the Titan equipment, but I was still sending it. I was still doing my thing, and I never had an immunity issue. This is the first, and I just feel like this is only going to get worse if we don't talk about it or do something about it. So,
Well, it's definitely gonna get worse. I mean,
yeah.
unless they plan on uh, making all of these like these gold ones for melee, which, well, let's see. I mean, yeah, that's nothing. But I mean, unless they plan on doing it, it's just gonna get worse for melee. Hey, Lumberg, what's up, brother? What's up, Barry? Didn't even see you guys come in. My bad, my bad. So,
Hey, Woody. Hey, everyone.
so Flex Nuts is he's had it. He had enough. This whole update kind of ruined it for all melee players.
Sure is.
If
That's Flex, dude. Why you look like fucking what's that dude from Mission Impossible? What's the actor?
Tom Cruise,
There, you look like Tom Cruise, kind of.
Well, I don't know. The cricket knows. I'm much bigger than No, I
so
just this was it for me, y'all. This was
so
it.
maybe Lumberg might be able to answer that question I had earlier about today. If someone's hitting you outside the castle and keeping you busy, and then they hit you on your main, if it would kill every single troop if you're a melee. Which I mean, Flexnut already said it'd probably most likely kill every single troop you have. Kind of like that video that Lumber that you showed with Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially, right? So this one it's death to melee, and I did think of Flex Nuts when this came out. It's like, wow, this is like a slap on your bill, right? I mean, there's like they can't even hit the plane. Now there is some counter, but you're going to take a lot of hits on a fully developed orange or purple plane with your officer skills, right? The only thing that can affect it if you're a melee player once your titans are dead is just going to be Tifa rockets, Zeus rockets, and I Medici rockets. That's it. Nothing else damages it.
Yeah, that's and the problem is like if he's sent out to someone and they knew that he's all melee and they continue to send reinforcements as he's killing them and then they kill they're attacking him at the exact same time, his titans are gone. He can't really do much without those titans. I mean, I've seen Ram being taken down by fucking Raz when he didn't have his titans there.
Yeah.
Those titans are everything, it seems like now.
Well, I mean, and now you got a third Titan.
Yeah,
It's a mess. It's a mess.
ugh.
What are your thoughts on it, Lundberg? Where are we going with this? Is there an
I
end
think
to it?
it is death to the melee build to some extent, but I wouldn't hang your hat until we actually see it in battle, right? Because it's one thing to describe it, it's one thing to see it in a small scale, but a couple of battles and a couple of events, like when people get some of those skills, is worth at least seeing without. But I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money from this point on, right? I mean, it's a slap in the face of melee build.
See, that's the problem. It's the first immunity we've ever had in 4 years. Immunity, right? We're used to resistances. This is an immunity. We've never done this. This is brand new. I can't fuck with that. I'm sorry for
It's
cussing Woody.
it's like fucking going through a bubble.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, for long range, yeah, this is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, who's to say later on down, in the lab or one of these things, eventually or whenever they decide to upgrade other things with the modification, who's to say that that ain't gonna be mid range? That like to take down mid range? Because I mean, I'm looking at it, and this is all long range stuff. There is no melee, there is no mid range, anything that I can possibly see now. Of course, I can't see the blues and the purples and the golds, but who's to say that any of it has to do with melee or mid range or melee? I don't know. I personally think this was not a good thing. Camel did. They kind of slanted a ways to where you're forced to go long range and spend even more money to get there.
I'm looking at the skills. I don't see anything that makes long range better than mid range as far as these planes go.
Well, you feel right here. You increase attack long range troops by warplane by 3%, and as you level it up, it goes even more.
Yes, but they also have one for all troops, and then at the end they have something for strictly melee. It's weird.
Wait, where?
And the gold, the very last one,
All right, hold on.
EMP armor middle.
Yeah, but I'm new. Where the hell do I go to get this? To see
Uh,
this?
Hold on.
The only thing that they did incorrectly is the fact that they messaged Flex and said you should have diversified your troops. And honestly, I don't think that is the correct way to approach one of your players who spent a lot of money on them.
I agree.
Who said
That
that?
is the Summer sent that to
Yeah,
Flex.
Summer,
When
based on the logic of the game.
he's probably
Go
the
ahead.
most diverse player in the game by doing something that no one else does. I mean, how much more diverse can you really go and try and do something that no one else is doing?
Yeah, I'm not.
They're
Correct me if I'm
more or less
wrong.
wanting to go melee HP, mid range, or long range attack. You know, I mean, they wanted to go with the 99 percentile just so it can be controlled volume, and you know that's the reality of it. That's what they meant by it.
I'm still not seeing anything to have to do with melee.
Very bottom in the middle.
Very bottom in the middle. Okay. Okay, I see it. Increase attack, HP, and defense of melee troops on the warplanes. Army 3 by 3%. So you mean to tell me you gotta spend and buy every last one of these before you can get to melee?
So nobody said melee was cheap. It is. We all know it's the most expensive thing, and you cannot play it unless you're just a mini whale. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Still can't hit this fucking ship though.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Even
you,
if I
man.
get that,
Jeez.
at the end of the day, it's still 100% immune. No matter how beefed up that thing is, like oh look at all these muscle bound infantry down there can't hit shit.
Man.
No,
May I ask a question?
yeah.
You guys think that this has anything to do with the fact that they found out maybe about the fact that you can set a certain lineup in triangle and DOD that is strictly all melee no matter what build you are and be unstoppable?
Well, they could have fixed just the reflect damage period on that. Is all. I mean,
Well, here's the deal. There was never an unstoppable build there. I mean, yeah, I stopped a lot. That was those were my events. You know, it wasn't but 2 days of the month, right? You know, I can't contend with like uranium mines against someone who is like 1,500 LRA and they're stacked 20,000 shredders. You know, I lose to shit like that. So the fact that they thought maybe that we got to nerf the melee even further, that was ridiculous. That this was something that I don't think was the case. But hell, you may not be wrong. 99% of the population is LRA based, and if you got a lot of people bitching about it, that's probably why. That's probably why it was fixed.
Yeah, and in the mines you can put the plane there too.
Yeah. So hell, you might have you might be onto something with that. You know?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, 373, and I'm sure other nations has freaking whooped 457 and freaking dual dominance and triangle war. I mean, like not even funny kind of whoop. Like one
But
person knock them all out, and that's it.
what's even more funny, and most people watching this will never remember back in the day, Aeon wasn't 10 seconds. That was the 1 hour. Like you had Aeon for an hour on that front line.
Yeah, and
Um,
that video that you showed us, it looked like that was on there. That was almost nearly an hour.
Right. But I'm talking like back in the day, like before they nerfed it. Aeon used to be 1 hour, not 10 seconds.
Jeez.
And they nerfed Aeon Melee back a long time ago. And they did it again, and now they're doing it again. Like, what is Melee really doing to you? It's not any chill. It's just some axes. It's not really kicking the shit out of anyone.
You know,
Relax.
it might be like the whales out there that have said, "Hey, I can't beat melee. You know, we need to fix something, or we need to do something about this."
Well, that's not a that shouldn't be a me problem. The fact that let's all get down and spend as much as we can and be LRA, and the highest spender in LRA is going to be the biggest dude on the table. Yeah, no shit. You got everyone stacked together with the same stats. Whoever spends the most is going to indeed be the best, but without a counter object, you're always going to be faced with that. That's not fun. You don't have that rock paper scissors metric anymore. You just got rock and who has the biggest money to get the biggest rocks.
Who's got the biggest dong?
Right. It's just dong, not rock. It's just dong.
Dong, because that's exactly what it's doing. Dong.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So I don't know. But it
you
is
got
what it is.
you got Ram over here, up here, or real young, I should say. I call him young Ram. He's still hunting for monsters right now. He's still going, and he got 80 million during the monster hunt. He's still going. And this is a whole day later. 2 days later, he's still going. He hasn't turned it off yet.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, 2 days after Monster's over, he's still going. Like, he hasn't turned it off.
You see my videos, I'm like a hybrid engine. Like I'm one at a time. I'm all about fuel efficiency.
What do you get in the Monster event by doing that?
I usually rank in the top 50 every time. I without even trying. It's just because it's always sending, and I'm always going to be getting a kill out of every rotation, give or take. Now, when I do the monster event on day 2, I usually unload, and then I'll catch up a little bit. But I'm not ever trying to get crazy. Day 2, if you notice nowadays, it can be stacked with that event to where you can get the items for uranium and the the alloy. Actually, if you go to the event right now, you can probably pull it up and see what I'm talking about for monster kills. Go to your event window.
All right.
Let's see here. All right, look. No. Well, actually, I think that's it. Go up one. No, not yeah, right there. Okay, so right here, if you look at event item, this is when I usually unload because you can still get this shit from drops from monsters, right? So yeah, and then this is when I turn on because I'm doing not only I wait for day 2, I get this event and I get the what do you call it, the commander best commander event. So it's 2 birds, 1 stone, and then every about 7 monster kills you get that drop up there, the thruster.
See, and that was like I was telling 373, I was like, hey, if you guys got fuel, use it now. And they're like, oh no, we want to save for void. We want to save for void. We want to win. I was like, look, dude, the difference is like it depends what day the monster kill drops. I mean,
exactly.
So this is what the 4th day in or 3rd day in, and right now we got recruiting. So we missed that drop, but it's still hunt those monsters because
right now it's the 2 birds, 1 stone. You get all the benefits from wrecking monsters right now, as well as the event items. And then if you go to the permanent exchange and stuff, you can cash that in for. I mean, why not just knock out the 2 birds, 1 stone? Just start grabbing some shit.
Yeah,
don't just
I'm short a little bit, but yeah.
Nah, I stopped dumping in on it too. Don't worry.
Dude, I was saving all my fuel, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in 10th.
Oh shit, you're in 10th. Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, so I've spent like, damn, Rams in first, mother trucker, of course. But I've literally like used 450 blues and 200 purples just right now, just today.
See that right there, like you can bank on like every 7 of them giving you a permit right
Yeah.
there, and then yeah, so that's where you start really, getting the biggest bang for your buck.
Oh, I was getting them, dude. I was getting a lot of them, like a lot of them. Hold on, it's not looking that way right now. But I mean, every 2 I was getting some earlier today. Just not right now, looking like it.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's about every 7 is where I kind of narrow that bitch down to.
Yeah,
Sorry for
and
cussing.
I was like, people are asking, well, how many you get? I'm like, oh, I would say I would get like 2 for every 10, right around there, give or take. But
Yeah, well, it's intermittent, but you can count on it being close to that proximity because, yeah, at the end of the day, they try not to overdo the things they give you from Camel. It's like, oh, well, here's an almost for the poor, and then they like, whoa, you got to come back in a little while. We're giving you another another quarter.
right, so Lumbar, where do you think this is all going? Or Maddie, one of you two. Where do you think this is all going in the long run with this whole new Titan slash plane? Do you think it's prepping up for C40 to come out?
I think it's filler.
It's kind of like how what we would put an elite ore in for a filler, just to keep people happy, right?
Well, yeah, they gotta have something to spend on, so they
Mhm.
gave them something else.
Well, they already have every childhood game as an event. I mean, they got Go Fish, they got freaking Connected Dots,
Candyland.
Candyland, Monopoly, whatever you want to call it. I mean, and now they got warplanes. I mean, there comes a point where even if you own a company, and I get, no one makes a game to not make money. I get that, but there comes a
Sure.
point where you got to realize, okay, look, um, we we can't overcharge like as much as they are. Like, there comes a point where you got to have some kind of heart, you know, like.
But Woody,
I
it's
feel like
all
everything should be
discounted.
attainable without spending. Make it hard to be attainable, but make it obtainable in some aspect. If you do
I,
that, you're
I can agree with that.
I mean, I can agree to that, but like most games, they won't allow whales uh, to be like a whale, like to spend like a whale. They won't allow it.
Well, I've said this before, but in most games, if you're a whale, you're like maybe 25% stronger than everybody else. This game, you're like 2,000 to 5,000% stronger. It's ridiculous.
He might even be underdoing that
Yeah.
number too.
No, I might be under. I mean, you can have one player that can destroy every single person in their nation without batting an eye. That is extremely overpowered and ridiculous.
It's facts, facts right there, absolute facts. And it's if those whales are in your nation, good for you. Cool. But I mean, when you're going up against a whale nation like that, I mean, do you even enjoy
Yeah.
it?
I mean, I've got Great One on my team, and he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he doesn't attack or kill anybody in our nation. I mean, he lets us kind of, run
Right.
the show. But on those cross nation events, he's gonna wreck everybody. I mean, but
Uh,
he's so nice and kind at our nation.
And I've come to see, other maybe a very few, those whales are extremely nice, extremely nice. They don't want a war. They don't want civil war. They'll do whatever they can to prevent it. Um, but I mean, even at that, it's like back in the days with the old mobs. You pay or you do something for the mob to protect you, right? Vice versa. If they make a rule to follow, such as eliminate the T4s if you're a C29 or 30 C30 below. Follow the damn rules, because that motherfucker, excuse my language, he can easily just end your whole entire alliance within 5 minutes.
right, right. No, you're not wrong. Both of y'all are absolutely right. Everyone I have met that has a big hammer. They're humble. They really are.
It's not like that in the Chinese nations. They
Oh,
are.
it's
No,
not.
no, we're talking, lemons and oranges or whatever. Yeah, the two different breeds. Yeah, the Chinese. I don't know, not to be a stereotype or
I know where this is
anything, but
going.
yeah, for whatever reason, it seems like once they get into power, they start like you get to die, you get to die, you get to die,
That's
and then only
exactly what it is.
Well, that's
then
what
you
happened.
take
That's what
and then you
happened.
merge into a big wig, big swinging hammer like Great One comes in there like I was kidding, man. You chill, all right, relax, relax. All
Relax,
right, it
dude.
was a joke.
You get to see the true great one,
Yeah.
or the true league god, or the true ram. Have you guys have actually watched those monsters in action? Like, have you watched the damage?
Yeah, it's
Like,
nasty.
dude, like if you are not bubbled, or even if you try to send rain, you're done. Like, we went up against Sir Zion. I think it was 376 once before, and even Sir Zion said, "I'm bubbled. I'm bubbling. I don't care." And I'm like, "Why, dude?" He's like, "No, no, 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 no. Because I could send one fleet out and ram Chrome across the whole freaking map and knock at least 2 million of my troops will be dead." He's like, "No, I am not leaving this bubble at all." And we're talking about another whale. Well, he no longer plays the game now. Now it's what is it?
Well,
Max?
I, I I think the biggest dude in the game right now might be Small War out of 157. Right? I mean, dude, he's bad to the bone. I don't think he's ever missed a beat. Then you got Javier, Ashai. You got some big boys that are just don't ever talk. But I think Small War may be taking the cake from all of them here lately.
Really?
You got that
Yeah.
dude in the 600 who's got like 600 mil BP now.
Was that boss?
No, no, dude, it's a tiger looking dude in the
Yeah, I seen
600.
that.
Ooh.
He's in a lock nation though.
Yeah, he recruited 3.5 billion in the recruiting phase this time. Billion.
I don't know how you do. I mean, you.
That's
Wow.
100 mil BP is what he
Well,
gets.
if you go to the website, you get so many more perks for like dropping money there compared to in the game. So there's no telling what.
I'll never go to that website again.
Yeah, I'm done with it. Yeah.
What's funny is that because I've explained in the past what happened to me on their website, and not even hours after the last podcast I had, it happened to someone else. I think it might have been, I don't know the name. I don't know the name. I want to say Mitch or Demon or someone. Matter of fact, it was in the 385 room. He was showing proof too. Like, he was showing everything. Like, he's like, I seriously just got triple charged.
Well, it's more tax evasion from not from the government, but if Camel cannot have to pay the 1% surcharge rate for a debit card transaction for Google or Apple, if they do that over time, they're saving so much money by going to their own site. That's why they're doing a loophole orientation there, which in my opinion, is jacked up, but it is what it is.
No, Apple App Store charges like 25%.
30%.
Oh, so it's up
Or
there.
is
So
it
this is
30?
why they're really advertising the shit out of that
It's
website,
Yeah.
just so they can
it's
make
Yeah,
it's
money.
actually
30%. You're right.
yeah, it's 30%, and I don't know what Google charges, but I can only assume it's between 25 to 30%. So cutting out the middleman, but like I was showing in the last podcast, I mean, what they're doing breaks the contract. But again, like you guys said, for a big whale company like that, they'll pay the fine and fix it. But let's see how
It's
long we can get away with it, kind of deal.
Google looks like it's 15%.
Yeah, so it's 15% they're bypassing, and then they're giving perks to go around it while still using the Google and Apple software.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're going to face a lawsuit with Google and Apple. I don't know how they're going to avoid that. I mean, you're talking a big deal.
Well,
I,
there's
most of their players are not going to go to that website. I've told people to go and specifically buy it. They don't do it. They just click their phone. It's stupid. I don't know why.
well, I mean,
Well, they advertise the benefits throughout the game, saying VIP this and that, and you go to VIP Summer. And the only thing the Summer does is every once in a while post some links for that website.
Well,
Yeah,
And
let's
then,
I changed my VIP. I did
check,
not like
guys.
mine.
Check this out. Check this out. So, PC users like how I can use PC. So if you go in here, and I'll show you. Um, if you go to buy this, it instantly brings this up.
mm,
So
Yeah.
I'll close this again, and I'll go to buy it again.
you're on BlueStacks, right?
No,
I'm
that's it's
I'm
on
on
Unity.
I'm on their site. So
Oh, okay.
that right there is breaks their contract of basically linking to a different site.
No,
Mm.
Yes.
No,
no,
that one doesn't because
that
it's
one
their
does not.
desktop app. It's not on their platform.
Yep. It's still the platform. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
No,
You're
it's
right.
not.
You're right.
It would be like Apple suing Camel for having the same app on the Google Play Store. Like,
But I do feel like there is a very, very gray area there, loophole or almost terms and conditions being broke by advertising through this VIP program to add it to Discord, go from one step to you advertise on the game, click on the link for VIP, go to Discord, and then you get the website. I feel like that's a gray area of terms and conditions that Google and Apple would inevitably be looking at reasoning while they're missing charges lately because they're boosting the concept that you can get 5% off this, you get all these benefits if you don't purchase through Google and Apple, yet we are now on Google and Apple platforms. Please go around it, purchase their website. That, in my opinion, is a big violation of
Well,
terms and conditions.
but that's a gray area. So a violation would be as if they sent a message in game
oh, let me see.
saying, "Go to this
Link.
website."
I had that link that did it. That one last thing they had. They sent no. These are messages, but there
Hey,
was.
sorry to interrupt, but just before I drop off, I just wanted to kind of I thought about a couple of things with you, Flex. So
Yeah. Okay,
before you hang your hat, so number one, if this makes you quit, it's a blessing, right? Because you're going to save so much time and money that you'll be laughing all the way to the bank, right?
hold on 1 second. I need you to pause just a second. I'm sorry, I got a call coming in. I don't know how to mute it. Hold on, I can't hear anything. All right, one more time.
I was just saying that if this makes you quit, take it as a blessing. You're going to laugh all the way to the bank with the time and money that you're going to save, right? So that being said, there is armored soldiers, and armored soldiers, I believe, if you do some tests, will completely wipe out that plane. So I wouldn't say that the
No,
game
I'm
has
not worried
changed.
about that. It's just the fact that I shouldn't have to jump through hoops. I'm already handicapped. Why do I got these zip tie and blindfolded? I mean, yeah, I can kill this shit out of those spaceships. It's just, I'm already struggling as it is, trying to keep up with the other guys. Why you gotta pick on the little guy over here? That was my whole point with it.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
it just makes it harder for you for sure. But you can.
right.
I mean, you've built something interesting with the melee build. I mean, and there's novelty in that, and there's the joy of kind of building something that's very different from anyone else. So you can always hang your hat on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoy that part of it. I just, yeah, it's a shame when even you got the VIPs and everyone's saying like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I mean, that right there is I don't know. It puts me in a mood where I am gonna hang my hat up. I'm like, well, they don't want me here. I did what I could. I love the game. I've been playing for going on 4 years, but I know when the road is hitting an end here. You know what I'm saying? So.
So this is going to be the end of it because we do know that Simple Jack and guys, people that are watching this are or will be watching this because I'm just recording. I'm not going live. Simple Jack is going to be having another thing about these war plans going on, and I know Maddie and Lumberg are both going there. So this is going to be
Yeah.
it, guys. We're going to end this right now.